I couldn't believe my eyes. My 10-month-old daughter Amaya was teetering on the edge of our living room couch, arms outstretched, giggling with delight. My heart raced as I lunged forward, ready to catch her. But then I froze. In that split second, I realized something that would change my entire approach to parenting. What if catching her wasn't the right move? What if letting her fall was exactly what she needed? Now, before you call child services on me, hear me out. There's a revolutionary parenting method that's turning everything we thought we knew about baby safety on its head. It's counterintuitive, it's controversial, and it just might be the key to raising more confident, capable children. Today, I'm going to share the surprising science behind why babies actually need exposure to safe risks. You'll discover how a little danger could be the secret ingredient to your child's development. And I'll reveal the personal story that transformed my own parenting journey. So there I was, watching Amaya on the couch edge. Time seemed to slow down as I weighed my options. Should I rush in and scoop her up, or should I let her fall? My mind flashed back to a conversation I'd had with my grandmother just days before. She'd been telling me stories about raising my father in rural Jamaica. Back in those days, she'd said with a chuckle, we didn't have all these fancy baby-proofing gadgets. Children learned by doing and by exploring. Sometimes they got a few bumps and bruises, but that's how they grew strong. I'd nodded politely, but secretly thought her ideas were outdated. Surely modern parenting techniques were safer and better. But now, watching Amaya's determined little face, I wasn't so sure. Just as I was about to give in to my protective instincts, Amaya made the decision for me. She leaned forward and tumbled off the couch. My heart stopped. But before I could react, something amazing happened. Amaya pushed herself up, looked around with wide eyes, and burst into delighted laughter. She crawled back to the couch, ready to try again. That moment was a wake-up call. Curious about the science behind what I'd just witnessed, I dove into the research, and what I discovered blew my mind. Studies show that allowing babies to engage in age-appropriate risky play has numerous benefits. It enhances physical development, improves spatial awareness, and even boosts cognitive skills. Research from universities like the University of Otago suggests that children who engage in such play can develop better problem-solving abilities and become more confident in social situations. But here's the kicker. It's not just about physical risks. Emotional and social risks are just as important. Letting your baby approach new people or try new foods might feel scary, but it's crucial for their development. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if my baby gets hurt? It's a valid concern, and one I struggled with too. The key is to create an environment where risks are present, but severe injuries are unlikely. Think of it like this. Instead of removing all the obstacles from your baby's path, you're teaching them how to navigate those obstacles safely. It's the difference between raising a child who's afraid of falling and one who knows how to fall safely. Let's break down some practical ways to introduce safe risks into your baby's life. Create a yes space. Designate an area in your home where your baby can explore freely without constant supervision. Remove any truly dangerous items, but leave some challenging elements. Allow climbing. Instead of always lifting your baby onto furniture, let them figure out how to climb up and down safely while you supervise closely, ready to assist if needed. Introduce varied textures. Let your baby experience different sensations. Grass, sand, rough fabrics. These all provide valuable sensory input. Encourage independent feeding. Yes, it's messy, but letting your baby feed themselves with safe finger foods helps develop fine motor skills and introduces the concept of risk assessment with food. Water play. Under close supervision, allow your baby to splash and play in shallow water. This builds water confidence and body awareness. Remember, the goal isn't to put your baby in harm's way, but to let them experience controlled challenges. It's about finding that sweet spot between overprotection and neglect. Now, let's get back to Amaya. After her gentle tumble from the couch, I started implementing these ideas. I created safe climbing opportunities, let her explore more independently, and resisted the urge to intervene at every wobble or stumble. The changes I saw were remarkable. Amaya became more confident, more persistent in the face of challenges. She learned to assess risks on her own, often pausing before attempting something new to gauge if she could handle it. But it wasn't always smooth sailing. One day, while playing at the park, Amaya spotted an older child on the big kid swing. Her eyes lit up, and before I knew it, she was toddling towards it with determination. I felt that familiar surge of protective panic. The swing was too high, too fast for her. Surely this was beyond the realm of safe risk, right? I watched, torn between intervening and letting her explore. Amaya reached the swing, grabbed the chains, and then something unexpected happened. She paused, looked up at the seat towering above her, then back at me. After a moment's consideration, she turned and headed for the baby swings instead. I was floored. My little risk-taker had just demonstrated something incredible. She'd assessed the situation and made a safe choice on her own. This, I realized, was the true power of allowing safe risks. We weren't just building physical skills. We were nurturing judgment and decision-making abilities. This approach isn't just about physical development, though. It has profound effects on emotional resilience, too. Dr. Ellen B. Hansen-Sanseter, a leading researcher in risky play, has found in her studies that children who engage in such activities may be less likely to develop excessive fears and anxiety disorders later in life. But let's address the elephant in the room: cultural differences in risk tolerance. In my Caribbean household, there was a more relaxed attitude towards minor bumps and scrapes. My Jamaican grandmother's words echoed in my mind: a few bruises build character. While we don't want to go to extremes, there's wisdom in this perspective. It's about balance, about trusting our children's innate abilities while providing a safety net. Here's a tip from my own Caribbean upbringing: use nature as your playground. Many of us grew up climbing trees, playing in streams, and running barefoot on various terrains. These natural environments offer a wealth of safe risk opportunities that are hard to replicate indoors. Of course, implementing this approach isn't always easy, especially if you're used to a more protective style. Here are some strategies to help you embrace safe risks. Start small. Begin with minor risks and gradually increase as your comfort and your baby's abilities grow. Reframe your thinking. Instead of seeing potential dangers, try to view challenges as opportunities for growth. Prepare, don't prevent. Rather than removing all risks, teach your child how to navigate them safely. Trust your baby. They often have a better sense of their abilities than we give them credit for. Be present, not hovering. Stay nearby to supervise, but resist the urge to constantly intervene. Now, you might be wondering about the long-term effects of this parenting style. Well, let me fast forward a bit in Amayas' story. It's Amaya's first day of school. As we approach the classroom, I feel a knot of anxiety in my stomach. Will she be okay? Will she make friends? As I'm lost in my worries, I feel a tug on my hand. I look down to see Amaya beaming up at me. "I've got this, Mama," she says confidently, and marches into the classroom without a backward glance. In that moment, I knew that all those small risks, all those moments of letting her figure things out on her own had paid off. We'd nurtured not just a physically capable child, but a confident, resilient one too. But don't just take my word for it. Research indicates that children who engage in risky play can develop greater physical and social confidence, improved problem-solving skills, and better risk assessment abilities. Now, I want to be clear. Advocating for safe risks doesn't mean being reckless. It's about calculated risks, age-appropriate challenges, and always prioritizing safety. Here are some guidelines to keep in mind. Know your child. Every baby is different. What's a safe risk for one might not be for another. Observe and adjust accordingly. Supervise smartly. Be present and aware, but not constantly hovering or interfering. Create a safe environment, remove genuinely dangerous items, but leave challenges that can be safely navigated. Teach, don't just protect. Use risky situations as learning opportunities. Explain dangers and demonstrate safe ways to approach challenges. Be prepared. Know basic first aid and have a plan for emergencies, just in case. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate all possibility of harm, but to create resilient, capable children who can navigate the world confidently. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Parenting is often about finding the courage to step back and let our children grow. It's about trusting in their innate abilities and fostering their independence, even when every instinct tells us to wrap them in bubble wrap. By allowing safe risks, we're not just preparing our children for the playground or the classroom. We're preparing them for life with all its ups and downs, its challenges and triumphs. So the next time you see your little one teetering on the edge of a new challenge, take a deep breath, Remember Amaya on the couch edge and ask yourself what incredible growth might happen if I just let them try. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more parenting insights with a Caribbean twist. And check out our video on the magic of chores on your baby learning for more unique parenting wisdom. Until next time, embrace the adventure of parenting, safe risks and all.